Steve, it's been 6 months now since you've been made president of the American Numismatic Association. How's it going?
We're doing great. We got a good team put together. I think our board's working real hard to make sure that we can make some positive changes for our future. We've got a good team out in Colorado Springs, and they're doing a solid job and trying to adjust to the new board. They have to do that every 2 years, and so what we are trying to do, what's in best interest for our members.
You were really desirous of people reaching out to you to communicate what they thought the ANA should do. Have you been successful in people reaching out to you?
Getting a ton of emails. I get about 100 a day. We have 25,000 members spread out throughout the world, and I get around 100 emails a day, and most of them are ANA oriented with ideas and suggestions and thoughts. What we're doing that's a little bit different is that there are 3 objectives that I've laid out for this board that we're going to try to do within this 2-year period. Number 1 is we're going to try to live within our means, and that means having a budget that we don't just keep spending money for spending money's sake. This is the first time this has been seriously looked at in probably 50 years. So every line item is being scrutinized and so forth, and the staff is assisting us on this, and we're looking to where those programs that are no longer viable, and we're getting rid of those programs, and then we're replacing with programs that are more in line with what our objectives are. So that's the first thing we're trying to do, and that's a massive job. In the past, I've been on the board, and we've just simply rubber stamped the previous year's budget and added money to it. And that's no way to run a railroad. We're not doing that properly. Second thing is the strategic planning process, which goes back again to the budget, has been non-existent. There's been feeble attempts at this over the years, but most of them end up writing a lofty mission statement that ends up in a loose leaf somewhere back in headquarters collecting dust, and the board never even refers to it. So what I've done is initiated a program that I think will involve the third step, which is make the committees so that they are relevant to the ANA. In the past, we've just put people on the committee. They don't even meet. I don't even know why we have the committee. They don't do much. There's only 3 or 4 committees that have ever submitted reports, and the board seldom sees them. Now the committees have a reporting structure and a regular meeting structure for new ideas and new concepts, and then they are going to be involved in the strategic planning process because they're going to put those onto paper of when they want to do them and how much money they estimate it's going to cost. So we take all of the committees, which we've got 16 of them, and we combine all this and we put it into a strategic planning document. And we're working on we have actually 4 different plans. We have an intermediate, or we call it a short-term plan for the next 24 months. And so the first 12 months, we've already passed that budget. So the planning process is really for the next year, okay? Then we have a 3-year plan, which goes out for a total of 36 months. And then we have a 5-year plan, which is 60 months. And then we have a 10-year plan, okay? So that if an item is a viable idea, but we don't have the money, they simply move it to the 3-year plan. So it doesn't come off the board, but we plan for it financially in the future based on our revenue and our expenditures. That's basic business and management concepts that unfortunately, as an association, the board's to blame for this, and I've been on the board. We have not done this, and now we're forcing ourselves to look at the real reality of this whole thing. And so we're going to work on our budget, which involves our strategic plan, and the authors of that strategic plan are going to be our committees and our committee structure. And that's it.
How often are you able to follow up and communicate with your group?
Well, the board meets every month, and we do it on teleconference, and then we meet in person usually 3 times a year. Okay, we meet in person. We have to be very careful that when we have a board meeting that we do it when it's convenient for most of our board, because we're all volunteers. The only difference between me being president and the club rep, which is a wonderful program for us, is that I just put in a few more hours, maybe 40 hours plus a week is all, if you're doing it right. Now, I guess I don't have to do that, but the hobby's been great to me, and I want to put back something to the hobby. Personally, the only thing that's in it for me is I get to meet great people. Other than that, and maybe protecting our hobby and making the survivability more viable, those are the only 2 rewards I get. And most of the reward I get is what they call psychic income. Remember, it's a non-paid position, And the former guys that had that position never turned over the keys to the corporate jet. I never got that. So I don't know if they had a limousine or a jet or whatever, but I fly on my own frequent flyer miles. That's how I'm doing that now. And I'm in the middle seat of Southwest Airlines more than I'd like.
And how important are the coin conventions?
The convention's really important because this is not just a coin show. There's coin shows every week in every city throughout the country. There's probably any one week there's 20 coin shows you could go to. And that goes on all year round. But this is a convention where we have programs and educational forums and so forth. And we have also meetings that are very critical to running the association and to projecting which way the hobby is going to go in the future. And that can only be done at our convention. The other thing that's interesting about this is that the coin hobby is changing very, very rapidly. It's accelerating. So what it's going to look like 10 years from now, I'm not really sure. I got an idea in 24 months, and I got a pretty good idea for 36 months, and a little better idea at 60 months. But 10-year, my crystal ball gets a little fuzzy. I'm not as good at that. But the problem with if you don't plan for that, the future is here, and it's now today. If we had done this 4 years ago, we were already in our 5-year plan. But we neglected to do that. And not that the boards didn't work, they all work hard, but there's a sense of priorities. So when I came in, I said, look, Pete, we got 3 priorities. Keep your eye on the ball, don't get distracted and do a bunch of stuff that it's nice to talk about, but we just don't have the time or the resources to get it done, nor the staff hours. The staff is, we can't, those people are out there working, they already got a full-time job. So when you add something new on, that means they got to cut something they're doing. I mean, it's real simple math. I got 40 hours, now I'm doing this, what do you want me to cut out? It's the same thing. And also with the budget, we got X number of dollars coming in, we got X number of dollars going out. And my job is to try to get that in balance. Now we have some wonderful investments, we've been very, very fortunate, and they've done very, very well, but we can't expect that to go on forever. So we have to kind of live within our means and be very prudent on how much of our investments and our endowments we're using.
And again, how would you suggest the membership and the dealer base to help you with what you're trying to do?
We're trying to change the philosophy here. We're doing pretty good overseas. In fact, we're doing great, especially in some of the Latin American and South American countries. It's what can I do to help the hobby and help the association? But we still run into that, what's in it for me? Here's my $46, that's your membership dues, what do I get? In other words, it's not about you, it's about us as a whole hobby. We're all in this together, and we're all partners. And, I guess if you really want to break it down, what is my mission? My mission is to make sure when you sell your collection, there's someone out there to buy it. Every coin's going to be sold. You may not even be alive, but I promise you that coin's going to be sold. And when it is sold, it'd be nice if someone's out there that wants to buy it. I mean, we all know what happened with Beanie Babies, right?
Nobody wants them.
Nobody wants them, you can't sell them. So you've got a great collection, but no one wants to buy it, right? So my job is to make sure that we keep this vibrant and hobby moving forward, and that there's someone always wanting to buy your coins. Is that simple? It's not rocket science, but it's tough. Because I'm running a 129-year-old organization that is very set in its ways. And it is difficult to change that ship when it's been going one direction all these years. But I'm trying, I'm doing the best I can.